There's a certain magic in the memory of a classic European winter, cobbled streets in Vienna or Prague, blanketed in white snow, the air crisp and still. The world is hushed, broken only by distant church bells and the crunch of boots on fresh powder. Families gather around a crackling fireplace, the scent of wood smoke promising warmth and safety. Children bundled in wool build snowmen and wage snowball fights, their laughter echoing in the frosty air. The cold isn't feared, but embraced, a force that brings communities together. This isn't just nostalgia, it's rooted in a climatic reality that once defined Europe. From the Scottish Highlands to Poland, deep cold and heavy snow were December's signature. Rivers like the Thames and Seine sometimes froze solid, becoming playgrounds for daring citizens. Christmas markets glowed, offering roasted chestnuts and mulled wine to ward off the chill. This was the December that shaped European culture, a month of deep chill, deep rest, and deep-seated joy. To see how much has changed, we turn to historical weather records, diaries of the Earth's atmosphere. The Central England Temperature Series, dating back to 1659, tells a story of colder Decembers. In the 17th, 18th and 19th centuries, Decembers were significantly colder than today. London's December of 1879 saw severe frost, with the Thames freezing over, a sight unseen for generations. These weren't rare cold snaps, but part of a broader pattern of harsh winters. Parish records across Europe mention deep, persistent snow. Alpine villages were often cut off for weeks. Even Rome saw rare but significant snowfalls. A white Christmas was once a statistical likelihood in many regions. The data reveals a climate with a different rhythm. Cold air from Siberia or the Arctic arrived more often and stayed longer. These records are our baseline, a yardstick for measuring today's changes. They echo a colder world, preserved in ink and memory. History is marked by extraordinary winters, like the legendary Le Grand Hiver of 1709. That winter, brutal cold swept Europe, freezing trees and even birds mid-flight, causing agricultural disaster. The Little Ice Age, from the 14th to 19th centuries, brought consistently severe winters. London's frost fairs on the frozen Thames, with shops and pubs on the ice, are now unimaginable. Dutch canals froze solid, making skating a national pastime and vital transport. The Baltic Sea sometimes froze, creating ice bridges between islands and even countries. These aren't exaggerations, they're documented facts that shaped trade, architecture and daily life. Volcanic eruptions like Tambora in 1815 could trigger global cold spells, linking distant events to European winters. The year without a summer in 1816 followed a harsh December, showing our planet's interconnectedness. These stories remind us how powerful and unpredictable winter once was. Fast forward to December 2025. Europe's winters are milder and wetter. Deep, persistent cold is now rare. Snow in cities like London or Paris is fleeting, often melting within days. The Central England temperature record shows recent Decembers are over 1.5 degrees Celsius warmer than centuries past, a monumental shift. The difference is clear. Frozen rivers have become flowing ones and snow cover is now slush. The warming Arctic weakens the jet stream, making weather more variable and less predictable. We see swings between mild spells and brief cold snaps, but the reliable deep freeze is gone. This shift affects traditions and disrupts the natural world's old rhythms. The European December is now a month of volatility, not certainty. Why are winters changing? The answer lies in science. Greenhouse gases, thickened by human activity, trap more heat, driving global warming. Europe's regional climate is shaped by this warming, especially the North Atlantic, which now stores and releases more heat and moisture. Prevailing westerly winds bring milder, wetter air across the continent. Arctic amplification, where the Arctic warms twice as fast as the global average, accelerates change. Melting sea ice reduces the albedo effect, exposing dark ocean that absorbs more heat, creating a feedback loop. The polar vortex, once stable, now wobbles, occasionally sending frigid air south in brief bursts. So even as winters trend milder, sudden cold snaps can still occur, but they're shorter and less frequent. The journey to a warmer climate is anything but smooth. The science reveals a world in flux, with old patterns giving way to new extremes. What about December 2025? Forecasting a month ahead is complex, but models point to a familiar story, a milder, wetter month for most of Europe. A strong, positive North Atlantic oscillation means a powerful jet stream, bringing mild, moist air across Western and Central Europe. Prolonged snow and ice at low altitudes are unlikely, though Scandinavia and Eastern Europe may see colder, snowier spells. European weather's complexity means a small shift in the jet stream can flip conditions from green to white overnight. Global phenomena like El Niño can ripple into Europe's winter, adding to the uncertainty. Forecasts blend long-term climate trends with short-term atmospheric drivers. The ghost of deep, abiding cold is unlikely to linger this December. Instead, expect a month shaped by variability and the unexpected. Let's compare the old world and the new. In 18th century Paris, the Seine might freeze, the city locked in frost for weeks under a stable high-pressure system. Today, a December day is more likely to be 8 degrees, rainy and green, the result of a strong Atlantic jet stream. The difference is stark. A landscape once frozen solid is now damp and mild. Occasionally, the jet stream buckles, letting Arctic air plunge south for a brief disruptive cold snap, a fleeting echo of the past. But these events are short-lived, quickly replaced by milder air. The snow line has retreated to higher altitudes and further north. Ski resorts in the lower Alps now struggle for natural snow, relying on snow machines. Sustained snow cover at sea level is rare, a dramatic shift from the past. The retreat of the snow line is one of the most visible signs of change. The rhythm of winter has been rewritten. The Decembers of the past are now the exception, not the rule. These changes aren't just curiosities, they have real consequences. Milder winters mean lower heating bills and fewer travel disruptions, but also new challenges. Agriculture suffers, pests survive, fields stay waterlogged, and fruit trees miss vital chill hours. The natural world is out of sync. Plants bud too early, hibernating animals wake at the wrong time. Wetter winters increase flood risks, straining rivers and defenses. We've traded the deep freeze for a new set of hazards. The character of winter has changed, and so have the challenges we face. Adapting to this new reality is urgent for both people and nature. Looking back at frosty Decembers is more than nostalgia. It's a lesson. Historical records show what our climate was and how much it's changed. Understanding the past helps us separate natural variability from the warming trend. Climate models, tested against history, guide our preparations for the future. Studying how societies coped with extreme winters teaches us about resilience and adaptation. The past is a data set, not just a story. Europe's changing winters are part of a global narrative. Climate is dynamic, not static. The eruption of a volcano in Indonesia once changed European winters. Today, it's our collective emissions. By knowing the past, we're better equipped to protect the future. The ghost of winters past urges us to listen, learn, and act for the winters yet to come.